for coming over.
Yeah. We're gonna ask you some questions.
Okay, let's do it.
So what are you doing right now?
Trying to avoid homeschooling my kids.
Tell us about your family.
All right, what do you want to know?
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Washington State.
How many kids were in your family?
We had 11 kids.
What is it like to have so many siblings?
Chaos, but fun.
What were your hobbies as a kid?
I like to read and play sports and lots of music in our home.
What sports did you play?
I played volleyball and I did gymnastics.
What kind of music did you listen to?
I preferred country music because I like the stories, and I did a lot of church music or classical choral music because I sung in choirs.
What kind of books did you enjoy?
What kind of books did I enjoy? I like historical fiction, and I remember reading a lot of fantasy as a kid.
When did you meet your husband?
My husband Jeff, I met right after I got home from my LDS mission to Southern California.
Was it love at first sight?
For him, I know it was. For me, I didn't get to really see him when he saw me first. So for him, for sure. For me, it took a few weeks.
How many years have you been married now?
We've been married almost 17 years.
What do you love most about Jeff?
I love it when I can make his eyes smile at me.
Tell us about your kids.
Well, I have 10 kids, but only 5 living.
What's the story there?
So we lost 5 kids during pregnancy, 4 of them around 20 weeks, and then 1 at 9 weeks.
That sounds like a lot of grief. How have you handled it?
It's been hard. Honestly, I avoided the grief for a lot of years simply because I wanted to survive and meet the needs of my living children. But recently I've sort of allowed myself to go to the dark, deep places of pain and embrace that so I can get out of that struggle.
Tell us about your other kids.
Who's the oldest? Well, I have 5 other kids, obviously, and I have 3 older girls, Eliza, Nora, and Zoe, and then 2 little boys, Tobin, or Zane, and then Tobin is our youngest. He's crazy.
What do you love about being a mom?
What do I love about being a mom? I think it's the moments where we get to laugh together and have fun.
What has been the hardest part of being a mom?
Having your weaknesses shoved in your face all the time and probably sticking to a routine. I'm not really good at that.
Where have you all lived?
We've lived in Washington, Oregon, California, and Utah.
Do you like Utah?
I didn't think I would, but I do now. I love the mountains. I get to see them on the east and the west.
Do you have a career?
Actually, I started getting into energy healing and natural remedies when I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's in 2007.
What is Hashimoto's?
Hashimoto's is an autoimmune disorder that affects the thyroid.
How do you manage that?
Well, over the years, I've learned to just find the right tools and supplements to support my body and let it do its thing naturally.
What kind of tools do you use?
I use a lot of essential oils and good quality supplements from doTERRA, actually.
I can see you have a lot of oils. Why do you like them so much?
My oils? Well, because I think they're amazing for supporting our bodies naturally, and that's what I want to do for myself and my family.
How long have you been using them?
Since 2011, but I didn't really start sharing them as a business until 2013.
Why did you choose to do that?
Mostly because I found them so helpful for myself, and it just was easy. It was easy to share with people, something that could help them too. And I realized as I did energy work that a lot of people needed something physical to help them with the energy shift when they were getting work done.
What do you love most about doTERRA?
I really love the way that doTERRA is very generous as a company, and they make it a win-win for everybody involved, from the farmers to the employees to the distributors to the customers. It's wonderful all the way around.
what are your hobbies?
With this quarantine, I actually have had a time to explore hobbies I've sort of left to the side as I built my business. So I really enjoyed reading historical fiction recently.
What's your favorite right now?
Oops. What's my favorite right now? I really like romance novels. Julia Quinn is one of my favorites right now just because it's a fun escape and I've stayed up till like 4 a.m. reading them.
What other hobbies have you discovered?
Well, honestly, I have really enjoyed making fan videos for a TV show called Sanditon. It's sort of like my guilty pleasure, and I just make some music with the scenes, and I've learned about movie editing, and it's just really fun.
Do you have a favorite food?
Thai food.
Do you like to cook?
No, not really.
Who does the dishes in your house?
As you can tell, it's mostly not me. No, my kids, and they have jobs that they rotate around, and my husband and I pick up where they don't get it done.
Who does the laundry?
That would be Jeff. That would be Jeff.
Do you have any pets?
Yes, we do. Our Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, Jasper, right over there.
What do you like to do to stay fit?
Well, I used to run a lot. I've run 4 half marathons, but I took a break after Tobin was born and haven't been running for the last 5 years or so, but I'm starting up again.
What other things do you do to stay sane?
Well, I'm trying to write in my journal more. I scroll through TikTok videos and listen to good music.
How are your kids handling the stay at home?
How are they handling it? Well, they're doing pretty good. It's a little crazy, a little loud, a little noisy, but we're making it work. Right, Hopes? Yeah.
What do you do as a family these days?
Well, in the evenings we have some kind of a dinner, and then we like to watch movie series together. Yeah. And we also like to, well, the kids and their dad like to play Nerf Wars in the basement in the evenings and just chill.
What would you call your design style?
Nothing. I don't really have a design style. I like to keep things pretty simple, but simple, maybe somewhat clean, modern, light and bright.
When did you move here?
We moved here to Utah about 10 years ago, but we've been in this house only a couple of years. It's actually a sort of funny story. When we first moved here, we had just short sold our house in California. And so we rented for 6 years, and when I would run around our neighborhood, I would run up this hill and I would say, someday I'm gonna build up there. And we ended up building up here, and we have this lovely home, which I'm very grateful for every day, even if it's messy.
I see you have beautiful paintings of Jesus.
Oh yes, I love beautiful artwork. This is one of them, and by Young Sun Kim. It just makes me feel inspired and connected to him.
Do you speak any other languages?
I do, hablo español, un poquito.
Where did you go to college?
I went to college at Rick's College in Idaho. I got my associate's degree there, and then after my mission, I went to school at BYU Provo.
What did you study?
I studied linguistics, which I loved.
What do you like to learn about now?
I like to learn about a lot of things. I'm a learner. Marketing, history, anything really.
What are your top 5 strengths?
Top 5 strengths. If you haven't taken Strengths Finders, that's pretty fun. But they are, let's see if I can remember them. Developer, restorative, activator, learner, and ideator.
What's your sign?
What's my sign? Oh, I really love learning about astrology, and I am actually a 4th house Aquarius sun, a 3rd house Sagittarius moon, and a Libra rising. All of that is me.
Does your study conflict with your faith in Jesus Christ?
Not at all. studying astrology has actually made me understand that God is in the details of the big things and the very, very small things of our lives. I love it.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be an astrologer. No, sorry. I wanted to be an anthropologist. Is that right? No. I wanted to be an archaeologist. Gotta say that again. It starts with an A. I wanted to be an archaeologist.
Do you like hard work? Yard work?
Do I like hard work? Sometimes. Do I like yard work? Sometimes.
Who are some of your heroes?
My ancestors.
What do you admire in other people?
What do I admire in other people? I admire when people are down to earth, real, funny. I wish I was funnier, but I tend to get serious too easily.
Where have you traveled?
I've traveled to the Middle East, I loved going to Egypt, to Jordan, to Israel. I've been to Chile and to England.
Where would you want to live abroad?
I would love to live in England with my family because that's where most of my ancestors came from.
What brought your ancestors here to America?
Mostly religious freedom and just to start a new life.
What do you do to strengthen your faith?
I mostly read my scriptures, say thoughtful prayers, and I really love writing in my journal because it makes me feel very much like I'm talking with God.
Do you have a favorite essential oil?
That's like asking if I have a favorite kid. Yes. No, just kidding. I don't have a favorite kid, and I would say my favorite essential oil would probably be any tree oil. I love the way that they make me feel grounded, and it reminds me of where I grew up in the Northwest with the big trees and evergreens.
Do you have any advice for other moms wanting to do business from home?
Really, just get to know who you are, because as a mom, when you're raising kids, it's really easy to get lost and lose yourself in being everything for them. And so find yourself and have a lot of fun doing it.
How do you do energy healing?
I mostly do long distance energy healing through muscle testing and surrogate muscle testing. I really love it.
What's your favorite ice cream?
Mint chocolate chip, but only with the ones that have a vanilla base. I don't like the green ones as much.
What's your best childhood memory?
Probably, again, connected to trees, would be climbing up the big trees in our yard. We had one that faced the west, and it was a big cedarwood tree, and I would sit up on the big branches and I would draw pictures of the sunset.
What do you admire about your parents?
My parents are amazing. They've had 11 kids and a lot of struggles, and they have just been really persistent, and they love God.
If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go?
If I could travel anywhere in the world, really, it would just go anywhere with my husband, because he always makes me feel like I'm home.
What's your dream for your kids?
For my kids, I just want them to know who they are as a child of God and that they are loved no matter what.
Do you have any personal dreams?
Do I have any personal dreams? I think I would really love to be financially independent and be more involved in community and worldwide humanitarian work, especially to bring my kids on those experiences with me.
What kind of music do you listen to?
Right now, I tend to listen to any love story music that reminds me of my husband and my love story. I know it's so sappy, but and I really like instrumental music with piano or strings.
Do you play?
I wish I played. I only play a little bit, but someday I would like to learn how to play piano better and the guitar.
What do you want your legacy to be?
My legacy, I would really love it to be about love and light and lots of smiles.
Okay, last question.
Okay.
What are you going to do for the rest of quarantine?
I hope I can have a lot more fun.